Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Kneon. I am not here with Geeky Sparkles. I don't think she really cares to be here because we're going to talk about the video game industry, and she doesn't really care that much about the video game industry, so you're stuck with me. We're going to talk about Warner Brothers games imploding. MultiVersus has been killed. It's gone. It's ending with season 5, and it was a massive failure. I did not realize this game was such a huge disaster for Warner Brothers. I actually thought it was fairly popular, but this is coming right after Suicide Squad killed the Justice League, lost them $200 million. $200 million. Then this thing failed too, and yeah, that led to the ousting, I believe, the ousting of the president of Warner Brothers Games, who's been there for like 12 years, and he got gone. So we're going to talk about this, and then we're going to talk about some more people getting gone, confirmed gone from BioWare. It looks like the entire writing team of Dragon Age: The Veilguard has been confirmed gone, and the games media are very angry about it. But let's talk about this. So before we get into it any further, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Hey, if you get a moment, we just posted this like an hour ago. As of the recording of this video, we're going to move all of our crowdfunding over to Kickstarter. Not real happy with Indiegogo. Tried doing it through our own site. It's not ideal, right? It's just, you know. So we're going to do it through Kickstarter going forward. We have a set of enamel pins from the Shadowbinders series. You guys have been great. You kind of found it before I promoted it, so that's awesome. Yeah, this is going to be leading into other projects, including Crimson Ren 2 and the Adventure Engine tabletop RPG later this year. But we're going to do a couple pin sets. This is a Shadowbinders themed one, and we also have some more generic game themed pins coming as well. And we're going to start small and build up, spread out. That's what we're going to do. Check it out on Kickstarter, the Shadowbinders Steampunk Fantasy Heart Enamel Pin Set Series 1. From Nidaria Entertainment. So there we go, guys. Hopefully we don't lose $300 million and counting someday. So this is coming from Hardcore Gamer. We got to set the stage here. We got to tell you the backstory before we get to MultiVersus being gone. You remember MultiVersus was the game. By the way, I just want to bring this up because I do remember this. Remember a couple of years ago when the game first came out, when it was in beta, Velma Dinkley, she was problematic because she called the cops in the game. She was a Karen, and she'd call the cops. Well, she could call the cops on black folks in the game, so people had to fit. Do you remember that? And then they had to change it to the mystery machine. So instead of the cops coming, instead of the legal authorities coming to be able to deal with problematic players, she has a bunch of teenagers like tie them up, throw them in the back of the van. That's so much better. But that was my big takeaway from MultiVersus. I was like, oh my god, that's a game with Velma. But yeah, it was a thing for a while. It's basically, for those of you who don't know, it's basically Super Smash Brothers, but with a bunch of Warner Brothers characters. It's also a live service game, and some people do play it. I mean, I know people play it, but like it fell off. I did not realize it was as bad though. As it was. So this is a couple months ago. This is Hardcore Gamer. Warner Brothers' latest games lose $300 million and counting. Warner Brothers has lost $300 million due to the failure of Suicide Squad and MultiVersus. The decline in game success coincides with poor post-merger decisions affecting dozens of projects. What, you mean like releasing Suicide Squad killed the Justice League like at all? Or Mortal Kombat 1, which was not great. Other than Hogwarts Legacy, I don't think they have any game in the last couple of years that's done anything, really. They've just been burning money. They said they're going to do more sequels to Harry Potter and DC. So anyway, they said Warner Brothers has been under fire from fans and critics lately over shelving finished movies, including Batgirl and Coyote versus Acme. But the company's latest financial report shows how even the gaming division is losing money hand over fist. CEO David Zaslav informed investors that not only did the company post a loss of $200 million, taken as a tax write-down on Suicide Squad, but MultiVersus, the free-to-play brawler stuffed with Warner Brothers characters, has performed so poorly that they're taking another $100 million write-down. The difference between a tax write-off, which was done for the two movies, and a write-down is that in the former, the asset has lost all value, while in the latter, there's still some value to it, but it's reduced by the amount of the write-down. In practice, this means Warner Brothers Games has lost $300 million in value in 2024 just because of those two games. That's disastrous. So that leads us into the boss stepping down. And this was just like a week ago. So this explains why. But they said, yeah, over the past year, Warner Brothers has continued to lose favor with fans following a series of poorly received releases along with Suicide Squad, the free-to-play fighting title MultiVersus, also underperformed, with players lamenting the game's monetization methods and lack of offline play despite the massive success of Hogwarts Legacy in 2023. Harry Potter Quidditch Champions, released in 2024, failed to make an impression on fans, and many people were frustrated by the lackluster graphics and repetition. I forgot that game even existed. They sent us emails. They wanted us to beta test it, and I forgot it existed. So, yeah, according to Variety, David Haddad will step down after 12 years with Warner Brothers Games. I'm so proud of everything we've accomplished together at Warner Brothers Games during my time with the company. It has been an absolute pleasure working on and building our iconic gaming franchises and then burning them down, burning them to the ground. And I will continue to be an enthusiastic supporter of this talented team's future endeavors. I don't think this talented team is going to have many future endeavors. I get the feeling that they could, in the not so distant future, just get out of the video game business altogether. But it's too bad because they bought Midway and they bought a bunch of other studios, Avalanche and stuff. And it's like, did you have to? I mean, if you're gonna blow yourself up, you have to take other companies with you. But he's going to be at the company for the next 3 months as a replacement is chosen. In a recent financial call, Zaslav, the CEO of Warner Brothers, confirmed that Warner Brothers Games was substantially underperforming. He's gone. They got rid of him. Now, they're supposed to be doing a sequel to Hogwarts Legacy, and I guess they opened it up for DLC. What concerns me about that, though, is that they're going to push all those Rocksteady people over to the Hogwarts Legacy, and it's going to be shit. That's what I'm afraid of. So anyway, let's talk about this. It has been confirmed that the entire writing team of Dragon Age: The Veilguard has been gone. Now, this isn't Warner Brothers related. This is Electronic Arts, but like all of these AAA studios are imploding. And it's not hard to see why they're imploding. People aren't buying your games. Gamers aren't buying your games. You're not giving them what they want. If they tell you they want big titty anime girls, even if you don't like big titty anime girls, but if they say, hey, we will give you money for big titty anime girls, and then you turn around and give them like a non-binary demon person, they, them, do you think they're going to buy that game? I don't think they're going to buy that game. I'm just saying they're literally telling you what they want. And these companies over the last 5 to 8 years, especially, have been running in the opposite direction. The same with comics, the same with movies, the same with the audience is telling you that they will give you money. They will throw money at you if you give them what they want, and you don't give them what they want. So they nope out. They don't have to give you their money. Do you understand me? Like, you're not owed customers. You have to work for customers. But apparently these industries forgot that over the last decade because there's been a lot of free money, a lot of venture capital. And they could just shit out whatever the hell they wanted to shit out, and people would buy it because it was on the, well, they wouldn't buy it. Even if they didn't buy it, it didn't matter because there's always more money. They could go to Daddy Soros and get another round of capital or whatever the hell is going on, and that's gone. That's over. Now you got to deal with the customers, and they've been telling you they want hamburgers. You've been giving them tacos. They don't want tacos. Well, some of them want tacos, but you know what I'm saying. But it's just like, yeah, it's not hard. So what we're going to see is we're going to see a long tail, in my opinion. There are going to be some games that come out in the next couple of years because of the ridiculously long development cycle of these games. And, after I would say 2026, 2027, we're going to start seeing games that are more gamer friendly. And, Sony, they're shaking it up over there. They got rid of their Western CEO at Sony Interactive, and they replaced him with a Japanese guy. And the mandate going forward seems to be, cheaper titles, faster titles, preferably more Japanese themed titles. And I think we're going to see a hard pivot away from these bloated $200, $400 million AAA DEI disasters out of necessity, regardless of how you feel about it. But the media is not taking it very well because they've been enabling this, and they really like it. They like these games, even though nobody's buying them. They and their friends like these games. So it looks like the entirety of Dragon Age: The Veilguard's main credited writing team is no longer working at BioWare. We talked about it a little bit yesterday, but a lot of them coming out on Blue Sky saying, hey, I don't have a job after 20 years. This person after 5 years. And there's some other names here. And they said, they're 9 writers, unless the most recent departures end up being brought back in to some capacity on the latest Dragon Age game. They no longer work for BioWare, at least not on a full-time basis. Veilguard game director Corinne Bush also revealed earlier this month that she's leaving BioWare. Well, she was probably the first to go. It was your idea. It was your idea to put the non-binary coming out dinner party together. So you're gone first. They said, okay, here's where the guy get the digs in. Given that, despite what idiots on the internet might say, Veilguard was far from an unmitigated disaster of a game. Even if it didn't hit the potentially overzealous targets EA set for it financially. Bullshit. I don't think they were overzealous targets. I don't think people played this game to warrant the budget and the time and the, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know what planet these people are living on where they think you can just put out whatever fan fiction you want to and people have to buy it. It's not like a comic book, right? Comic books, in the grand scheme of things, are relatively cheap to produce, and a couple of people can do it. These games have hundreds of millions of dollars, and the budgets are ridiculous. And there are dozens, if not hundreds, of people working on these games. And you can't tell me at some point in time somebody didn't raise their hand and say, hey, yeah, I don't think this game's going to sell very well. Like I know what the Dragon Age players are expecting. I don't think people are going to buy this game. And maybe somebody did say that and they got fired. I don't know. Some white chud, I'm sure, dared to raise his hand and have questions about it. But it's not good. It's not good that a lot of people are losing their jobs, but they wouldn't have to lose their jobs if their games didn't suck. If people bought their shit. I mean, that's all you got to do. Nobody is obligated to give your company money. Nobody has to give your company money. And that is a huge attitude adjustment that needs to happen in this industry and in Hollywood and in comics, because for so long, it was what they call Bolshevik marketing. Is that what they were calling it? Where you really weren't given a choice and you were told you had to buy it. And then they did everything they could do to hide the sales numbers. And the truth is out there. The shit does not sell. The age of woke does not sell. None of this shit sells. All the toys rotting at Ollie's, all the, unsold comic books from 2017, all the, you know what I'm saying? It's this era of entertainment does not sell because it's activist entertainment. So this is, it's very, very angry about this. The games industry in 2025, definitely a healthy place to work without the constant shadow of potential turnover just being chucked into the sun by some corporately mandated restructuring. It didn't sell, dude. Mark Warren, it didn't sell. If it doesn't sell, you get gone. If your division is costing the company hundreds of millions of dollars, like Warner Brothers Games, the boss, the president, gets gone. If MultiVersus costs you $100 million, you get gone, right? So MultiVersus, after, did I talk about the actual season? Yeah, season 5 is it. That's it. And they're saying now, Vice is saying that it's still going to be available to play offline. I've read other places that is not going to be available to play offline. That's it. When it's over, that's all, folks. And they should do that with Bugs Bunny at the end. Just be like, that's all, folks. But it's just massive, colossal failure. Failure after failure after failure in the AAA gaming space. And at some point, you just gotta be like, yeah, we can't bankroll this shit anymore. So there we go, guys. Thanks so much for watching. Again, check out our campaign on Kickstarter. It's a small campaign, but we appreciate the support. Thank you very much. We'll talk later.